Okay, welcome to Comfort Habit number 2. I deleted my original video, working off my reminder video, so this is where we are. I'm going to talk about something my neighbor and I had a conflict about, or a conversation about in a conflict. First and foremost, I'm whatever you want to call me. I am part native, I am part black, I am part white. I am part black, I am part white, I am part native. I am part white, I am part native, I am part black. Any way you slice it, I am all three of those. So hopefully that covered it and not pissed everybody off. Please ignore the crying baby in the background because that's my nephew. Anyway, so we had this discussion while I was outside. And it pretty much goes like this. A lot of people in my family have always given me flack about why I don't date black girls. As I have explained it to y'all here on YouTube, I will explain it to y'all again because I know my family ain't never going to watch this shit and I don't really give a shit. The point of the matter is, I'm going to apologize right now because I'm going to piss off a lot of black females. Alright? And I'm going to try to do this peacefully without pissing y'all off, but it's going to piss you off. So let's just go ahead and face the fact that I'm going to piss off a lot of black females. And to you black females, don't take this shit personally. I am sorry. But a lot of you black females, your female counterparts who are black, pretty much ruined me for black women for the rest of my life. And you don't have to like it, but you do have to accept it because I will never date another black woman. I will not marry a black woman. And it's from a childhood trauma response. As a mixed child, again, these two things go hand in hand. So did you understand where I come from? So you don't judge me too harshly. But here's the thing. Black women put me through a lot of shit before we were even men and women. When I was a kid, I didn't know I was mixed until black people taught me I was mixed. When I was a kid, I thought that the more black girls I date, the closer to black heritage I would be. Because I didn't know I was part native. I didn't know I was part white. I just thought I was black and got lucky because I had curly hair. Yeah, well, obviously I was not lucky, but it is what it is. Now, I started dating young black girls. The only young black girl that ever gave me the time of day that really, really gave a damn was Tutu. Every other black girl before her and after her pretty much shit on me at every shot that they got. And this went on from grade school to middle school. By the time I got in middle school, I was so disdained and cut up by black women that I was at the end of my rope. Red bone black girls, dark black girls, brown or black girls. I didn't really date anybody darker than me, except for Emily, and she was a handful, or a big mess who did shit just to piss me off. And this started the downward spiral for me and black women. So no one can ever say I didn't date black girls. I did. They just destroyed me. And most of the time, there was always a couple of them who always told me all my life that I would never be good enough for black women. So I don't want people coming at me for me not dating black women. It's like, oh, so when you become a superstar, you're going to marry an Asian woman or a white woman. Yes. Yes. I ain't gonna lie about that shit. Yes. And perfectly an Asian woman who does this when she enters the wrestling ring. I could get lucky at least once. That's the miracle that I'm praying for. But to be honest, white girls, Asian girls, and Spanish girls actually gave me the time of day, where black girls pretty much told me to go to hell in a handbasket. The very boom of this started from the second grade and beyond. By the time I got old enough to know what the hell sex was, black women was pretty much done, and they were telling me that I was never going to be good enough, never going to be good enough. And the last two black girls I dated was at the age of 12 going on 13 and 14 going on 15. Both of these were summer romances, but the summer romance started like months before summer. And we would be talking, and I was like, well, I'm coming to Smithville. And then when we come to Smithville, it was Miss Smith, and she lived up to her name. So she broke my heart first. She was the first black girl to truly break my heart. The circumstances broke my heart with Tutu because she moved, so that kind of did that in. But for Smithville and for Miss Smith, it was going good until it wasn't. And then she brought her new boyfriend on the porch, and I posthumously put my boot to his ass, skinning his chin, watching the news. Anyway, so after that shit, I met Symphonia. Symphonia would seal the deal for me and black women for the rest of my life. And she was 14, I was 14, and her 23-year-old boyfriend showed up. The one that she never told me about until I'm looking at the barrel of his handgun. And after that, I swore off black women. I'm not gonna lie, I swore off black women. I can date them if they want. If they want to have sex, we can do that. But as far as marriage and relationship material, nope, not happening. And I'm not gonna say other women don't do the same bullshit, because they do. But as far as I've been with, no white girl's boyfriend showed up to my area with a gun and threatened to shoot me while walking her home. No Asian girl's boyfriend has showed up to an area and challenged me to a kung fu duel, something that I know I can win, while walking her home. Alright? But beyond that, we gotta go all the way back to fucking grade school, where it all started, where girl after girl after girl who's black kept telling me over and over and over again, you ain't good enough for us. You will never be black enough for us. You are not good enough for us. No, we don't date mixed kids. Mixed kids will never be black. You will never ever be black. And that there kind of started the ball. And that made me try to date more black girls until the Symphonia incident. And after the Symphonia incident, it was done. So for black women who want to know why I don't date black women, if you can find Symphonia from Smithfield, good luck. She's your reason. So you can get mad at me if you want, but childhood traumas teach you. And childhood trauma response teaches you. But as I got older, I kept waiting for the right black girl, the right black girl. And every black girl that ever had any inkling of liking me already had kids. And I don't mean that as a stain. Don't take that the wrong way. Because I have dated some girls with kids. White girls, but no black girls. But I have dated girls with kids. I know how this shit works. I know that the kids always come first. I would never ask a woman to put her kids before me. I've also dated, I've looked into black girls with kids. But, you know, it's not for me because my mama had 7 of us. I'm the second of 7. I had to watch my siblings grow up and have it better than me. And then they got pregnant. And then I had to take care of their kids because their baby daddies couldn't stay the fuck out of trouble. And now weed's legal. All they had to do was wait a few years and they'd have been fine. And now some of their kids smoke weed. And I just have no time for that shit. And they do the stereotypical black shit. They just, I'm not going down that route. I'm sorry if I've offended anybody black. I'm not going down that route. Black people don't have to be dumb. Black people don't have to be stupid. Black people don't have to be ignorant to the fact. I get it. You want to be on a level, be on a level. But don't be stupid about being on that level. That's another video in itself too. That'll be a bonus video because I need to talk to young black men. I also need to talk to young black women. So I'll make one for women, one for men. But the fact of the matter is that you don't have to be like everybody else. And that tends to be a lot of the problem with the black youth, male or female. But for this, you know, as a mixed person, there was a race war in my school. I was always told that I could never be fully black because I'm part H. And the white people would tell me I could never be fully white because I'm part N. And then when we found out I was native, it was only worse from there. Well, now you can't be neither one of us because you're part one of those people who ride horses and shit. Feathers. So, you know, I've been down the whole racial spectrum. You know, been mistaken for a Mexican once or twice. All kinds of shit. And for the record, Mexicans are also Native Americans. I did not know that until like maybe 5 or 6 years ago. But I've learned. So it is what it is. But at that same fucking time, no one wants to be on the other end of a racial battle. You know? So that being said, I'm going to end this video now because I've had racism from blacks. A lot more from blacks than everyone else. And whites. And natives. But I've had 2 incidences from natives. Maybe 7 at best from white people. But most of my life, my racism came from black people. And especially because of me being mixed, it's like, oh, well, you ain't really one of us. We can't trust you because you can go tell white people all our secrets. I mean, the whole time, that's the one thing that the white people and the black people had in common when it came to me. But we can't trust James because he's gonna tell all the white people, all the black people, our secrets. One enough native population in my area of Virginia to even have to deal with that shit. That's I think I didn't really have to deal with Native American shit outside of my great grandmother. And the only thing she ever taught me was folklore. My grandmother made me eat corn inside of pancakes. And then as I got older, I didn't deal with any more Native Americans until I met my bro Court. He was a Mohawk. And then he had to handle some shit that happened with two other natives who I posthumously I posthumously worded it that I would roll one of them down a hill and roll the big brother into oncoming traffic because they wouldn't let me associate with their niece because I wasn't pure blood. So yeah, I've been the victim of racism from natives and whites and blacks, and unfortunately, I've been the victim of racism from more black people than the other two. Never been the victim of racism from Hispanic people. Never been the victim of racism from Asian people. There was that one incident in school with Zhang, but we both were being racist to each other. And so that kind of did that in. And then we both became friends because we realized we were the only odd men out. So then Zhang moved. So that sucked. But it was just me again. But, you know, it was what it was. Zhang was also actually Vietnamese instead of Chinese, which is, I thought he was Chinese. But, yeah. Long story. It's on the, somewhere here. But just in case anybody holds my feet to the fire, me and Zhang was both being racist to each other. And then he got the last laugh. So then we became buddies after that. I got out with it. So it was what it was. But that being said, as a mixed kid, we have identity crises all the fucking time. There's not a mixed kid on earth who has not had an identity crisis. And mostly it's due to both sides of our heritages. Because if you have a white dad and you look white, you're probably going to be okay. If you have a white mom and you look black or Mexicanish, you're probably going to be okay depending on your gender. If you are a female, you're going to be fine. If you are a male, you're going to get the 7th degree. And take me at my word. Take me at my word. Most of the time, mixed females have a fuck ton easier than mixed men. Because nobody gives a fuck about us men. That being said, I am Echo Fangray Wolf. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. Be seeing ya.